Okay, got this heat kit amp here at AA100. This has been restored. Some of the work here, but I guess the interesting thing is the bias control. This particular amp had no way to bias the output tubes. Like a lot of vintage amps, ironically, it's really hard to measure the current through those output tubes because the cathodes go directly to ground. But if you look closely, you'll see a little brown resistor there. There's another one hiding under the wires. And there you are, to see them down here. Actually, I'm going to turn this off so I don't get electrocuted trying to point at things here. But there's one of the resistors. There's one down here. And these two up here. But what I did was I put those 10 ohm resistors from the cathode to ground. I had to cut the traces. And you see the mark here, right here where the screwdriver is, that little scrape across, that's the trace, which is essentially like a wire, which is cut. And that trace went directly to ground. What I did was put these resistors right to ground and put 4 of them on the 4 output tubes, and what you do is you measure a voltage across those resistors, and you can calculate with a 10 ohm resistor how many milliamps that are being conducted by those particular tubes. And here is the configuration I used. I tapped off the bias supply front and back, and these are 4 15-turn potentiometers. You see the little screws in here. As I turn them, I can adjust the voltage for each tube individually, and the way I have them mounted is proportional to where the tube is mounted. So the top one would be the top tube, etc., on down the line. But you can get some real fine adjustments. It works perfectly. These tubes are biased exactly where they should be, and any tubes going forward that are replaced could always be adjusted now. It's a real nice feature to have on these old tube amps, because the new AC line voltage is a lot higher than what it used to be, and a lot of these tubes, especially the expensive vintage tubes, they'll get used up. I mean, they'll burn up. Not necessarily burn up, but get used up a lot quicker if you don't have them biased properly. That's it for that. I'm going to also show another quick video of the other side of the restoration, all the caps that were replaced.